Alright, now welcome back to the channel. It's time for a Firewood news update. So we're going to jump right into the news here, but while we do that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and watch some damn videos if you do subscribe. So first off, I want to jump into this new Nintendo game. It's called Chillin' by the Fire, and it's on Nintendo Switch 2, which is a downloadable game. It's $14.99 on the Nintendo website on Nintendo.com. And I think you can also play the game on with certain capabilities on the original Switch, and you can use like the local sharing feature to invite your friends locally. So I think there is some opportunity there. If you have the original, the Nintendo Switch 1, you can play it on that too. But I'm going to go through some of the points on this game and just talk about it. It's a campfire game, which is the oldest social network, and it's a new kind of experience where you sit around the campfire with friends and you can invite people from all over the world to join you, and it uses your camera and your computer so their faces show on the screen, and you talk around the campfire. And it prompts you with different subjects, whether they be chit-chat or philosophy, late night philosophy there, and you can talk with your friends and build the fire, and the glow of the fire is on their faces and things. Now it does say it uses some lower HDR graphics on this, and that's done on intentionally low poly is what they call that, just so it looks the gradients and the orange and the flames and everything, it just appears natural and eye-catching. So it does that, but there's a vividness and a deep soothing sensation that comes from this game, they say now, and there's subtle details that support healing and immersion. You can try headphones, and it has a rumble pack you can add on to the Firewood. Play it anytime or anywhere. And you can use, like I said, the game share, and up to 4 players can be connected and their faces appear on the screen, friends, family, randoms, whatever. And you can hook up and do that. Now there's 3 different game modes. In the normal mode, you grow your fire and try to reach campfire level 10. And I think it progresses through different levels of difficulty, which I'll talk about in a minute. There's environmental changes that happen. So that's the normal mode. And then in survival mode, your supply of firewood is limited, and you have to learn how to plan your fire and pass the flame from log to log, budget your logs, and prevent the fire from going out, that type of thing in a survival situation. So then there's also a playground mode, and you use 4 fire pits with your friends, and you play online and compete with your friends about building as far as building the fastest fire that rages the highest, and you can interact with each other, working together, or interfere with each other in the process. It depends on the rules that you set up during the setup process, I guess, there. So, as I mentioned, there's 4 different environmental stages. It starts on the beach, which is a high temperature, low humidity environment. Then it moves to a grove, which is a dry forest. It offers a different set of challenges. Then you're on a plateau, with majestic mountains that stretch out in the distance. The temperature is lower, and sometimes rain showers roll through, so there's challenges there. And then the final environmental situation is a snow mountain, where you have temperatures below freezing and a frigid area with snow, and it's done froze up over there now, so it's a harsh environment that will really put your skills to the test. So that's going on there. That's only $14.99 on Nintendo.com, a little campfire game. So I think I kind of covered that. You get the gist of that, what's going on there. There's all kinds of different things. And we're going to go ahead and move on now. There was a fire was set by an alleged serial arsonist that burned down a cafe in Portland, Cafe Ollie's. And they've had a tough go of it lately, they said, with struggling to keep their business open, and financial strain of having to repair equipment, and general slowdown in business. And earlier this week, as of July 31st, an arsonist apparently set their wood pile on fire, and they just had gotten a new shipment of firewood in, a new load of fresh dump there. and somebody came in and burned it down. It caused $2,000 worth of damage. So the good news on this is that they started a GoFundMe, and they've raised nearly all of the $7,000 goal. So they might actually be coming out ahead in this deal. You know, we don't want to see hardship on anybody and everything, and that's good. They can get a little extra money. They can rebuy their firewood and maybe build a nice woodshed, invest some money back into the business, that type of thing. It sounds like they need it, so that's a good thing. But they might have come out a little bit ahead on that deal if they raised $7,000 and they're saying it did $2,000 in damage. But apparently the wood was deemed unusable to use for cooking anymore or anything because of the chemicals that the firefighters use to put out the fire. Now that's a shame. They couldn't just use water. I'm not a firefighter, an expert or anything, unless it involved electrical equipment that was in the wall behind it, or chemicals, or there was some type of cooking oils nearby that was also ignited and they decided to use a chemical mix. I don't know anything about that, so don't quote me, but it's just a shame they couldn't turn on a dang fire hydrant, a damn hose, and use water on the wood. Then it would just dry out and you could basically still use most of it. But or they may have just come in and had fire extinguishers readily available and just used fire extinguishers. So you never know. It says here in the news that it was the chemicals used by firefighters to extinguish it made the wood unusable. Now a firefighter, that could be an employee that was fighting the fire. But so anyways, just kind of rambling on there about that. But in other arson news, there was a guy, his name is Richard Tillman. He appeared in court in San Jose and on arson charges for burning down the post office. Now, he is the younger brother of former NFL star Pat Tillman, and apparently Pat, he joined the Army in 2002, and he was apparently killed by friendly fire, I think in 2004 or shortly after that, which is a tragic deal. And I think his brother here is having a hard time dealing with that. But this is Richard Tillman now, and it says that he's 44 years old, and he is accused of deliberately crashing into the post office in the Almonden Valley section of San Jose, and then he lit the building on fire. Now, he's held on a $135,000 bail, and apparently the deal is that he started a fire, and it took more than 50 firefighters over 90 minutes to extinguish it. And apparently there's documents that charge that Tillman had bought Insta-logs and lighter fluid at a nearby supermarket. Now, I didn't Google Insta-logs, but those are probably those fire-starting logs that really flame up good. So he had bought those, and then he filled his car with the Insta-logs and doused them in lighter fluid. Then he's accused of backing his vehicle into the post office and then lit the car on fire. So he also apparently allegedly spray painted the words "Viva la Me" on the side of the post office, and reports show that the evidence is leaning towards Tillman being responsible for spray painting that "Viva la Me." I guess that means long live me. So he was allegedly live streaming this on YouTube, so this will go out. If you're on YouTube, this was allegedly live streamed. Now, I probably wouldn't recommend following this guy, but it's pretty funny. His username is Me Papa's Son 13, and this was apparently being live streamed on YouTube. So there's pretty substantial evidence, I think, out there that he was the one that perpetrated this act of arson on the post office. So that was also going on. All right, where were we? Now, next, we're moving to Maine, and in Maine, they are passing a new law, or there's been legislation introduced. This is North Yarmouth, Maine. Sorry, they've introduced legislation, an act to promote firewood banks in Maine. Now, apparently, I think there's about 15 firewood banks in Maine, and there has been legislation that was introduced by State Rep. Michael Ray. He's a Democrat from Lincolnville. And he volunteers, and he's recognizing how difficult the job is, what a challenge it is to learn how to start a wood bank, where to source the wood, how to source materials, the skills involved with running a chainsaw, servicing saws, processing firewood, the different equipment that needs to be made, drying wood, distributing wood, all of that. So this legislation is designed to educate people. It's going to require different agencies to educate people on how to start a firewood bank. So the agencies that the law requires is the Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry, and the Bureau of Forestry. They will be required to promote wood banks and provide resources on how to create them. And these firewood banks, these are the type of things that provide free wood to disabled, elderly, veterans, that type of thing, low-income people, housing that rely on firewood to heat their homes and keep themselves warm in the winter. So these are wood banks, like I said. They're basically a charity for people who need the help, need the money, need the wood. So that's going on up in Maine. And now we're going to move into the White House now. Just a quick little blurb here. President Donald Trump has been making changes to the decor of the White House, and he has added gold embellishments to the walls, ceiling, trim, and the fireplace mantle. So if you want to see pictures of that, I'm sure you can Google it online, but he has a love for maximalism and gold furnishings, and he's bringing it to the Oval Office and the White House. So the White House now has gold embellishments around the mantle and trim there in the White House fireplace. And I think that's a wood-burning fireplace. I've seen it on TV before with some logs in it, so they might fire that thing up in the winter and burn some wood. All right, moving right along now. Now we're moving into Canada, and we got some crazy news coming out of Canada now. And the Ville de St. Lambert, or St. Lambert, I guess you could call it, in Canada, solid fuel wood stoves and fireplaces have a mandatory declaration this year, which is due by September 5th. And now what that means is you have to declare your wood burning appliances to the state or federal government or whatever it is. City government, I think, is what it is. So sorry there, but you have to declare it by September 5th. So on May 8, 2025, the regulation concerning appliances and fireplaces that use solid fuel came into effect. As a result, anyone who owned fireplaces on May 8th of 2025 has 120 calendar days, which is September 5th of 2025, to declare their use of a wood stove or fireplace by completing a declaration form. Even if you no longer use your wood heating system or fuel heating system, you must still declare it. So the form, it's sent to the city. You have to send it to the city by mail or email. And ultimately, as of January 1st, 2030, it will be prohibited to use a solid fuel appliance unless it emits less than 2.5 grams of particulate matter per hour, regardless of the fuel that's used. Now, I do find it interesting that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the U.S. EPA, is one of the certifying agencies of these stoves. So the emissions rate must meet U.S. EPA standards. So I guess these new stoves are rated at the particulate discharge rates. And it also has to comply with the Canadian standard CSA/B 415.1/10. So your stove has to be rated some type of high efficiency stove appliance, and that's the particulate. 2.5 grams of particulate matter per hour is the max. So you have to check the technical specification sheet to make sure it meets the requirements. Everybody has to submit the form if you own an appliance and if you're a tenant in a home that has a stove or fireplace. Check that the owner has submitted it. And if you own multiple properties, obviously they all have to be submitted. So there's all kinds of things. If you're wishing to retrofit any existing in construction and modify the house, in some cases you must obtain permits from urban planning and the inspection department. So they're clamping down on all this stuff up there in Canada, and that's going on. They had 120 days. That's the gist of that article. I know I kind of fumbled around on that a little bit there. So if you're up there in Canada, you can get the application form online. And that just kind of represents a growing trend of what we're seeing a lot of in Europe and a little bit here in Canada all of a sudden too. They're trying to clamp down on wood boilers and regular wood-burning fireplaces, barbecue grills, all kinds of crap. That's just the way the world is heading, and that's one of the good things about the Firewood news updates. We're learning about all this stuff that's going to be coming our way in the future, and we can get ready to fight those battles as they come. But fire is obviously one of the oldest things around on Earth, and people have been cooking over flames and things since the beginning of, well, not time, but since the beginning, since they discovered wood, and now we're moving towards more high efficiency, whatever things you want to say, however you want to say that. So that's going on. Not trying to get political, but that's the way the world is heading here. So next, this is the final quick little ditty in this month's Firewood News Update, and we got a sale at Walmart fire pit here. It's a 32-incher. Now, you don't have to buy anything. I don't give a crap if you buy anything. I'm just talking about this because it's firewood-related news, and it showed up as a sale, and it's a wood-burning fire pit, and we're coming into the fall, so it's a good time to buy one. This is a nice little deal, but it's on sale for $79.99. And the brand of this is, it's made by U Home Pro. It's a nice 32-inch fire pit with kind of a faux stone deck around it and a cover and everything. Put it out on your patio. And it's on sale for $79.99, regularly priced at $169.99. Now, I'm going to try to post a link for this in the YouTube shopping. Like I said, you don't have to buy anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't give a crap. If you want to look at this thing, it should be in the link down there. But I have found that these YouTube shopping links, they kind of come and go. So they expire. This sale will end eventually, or they'll sell out of it at Walmart. So if you're looking at this in 10 years or even 2 months or 2 weeks, the link could be gone. I'm finding that out on a lot of my YouTube shopping stuff. So, the prices change and things change, the links change, the websites change, the YouTube shopping links, they're not always good forever. So if the link isn't there when you look at it, I don't know what to tell you. I tried, and it may not just be a valid link anymore. So anyways, thanks for watching this edition of the Firewood News Update. I'm never let down. There's always new Firewood news coming in, so I'm sure we'll be checking back in the next month or so with some new fresh firewood news. And stay tuned to the channel, like I said, and I'll see you guys later.